We're off hiking again. This time it's 2 days with a night at a local homestay. We have a different guide, same agency, still Sapa Sisters, but our guide today is called Little Chi. We're heading south of Sapa today, and we're broadly following the valley. This means that we'll be seeing far more rice fields because the rice tends to be grown at the lower altitudes and the corn tends to be grown a little higher up on the slopes. Our guide, Little Chi, was originally from the Hmong ethnic group, but then she married into the Sao ethnic group. This means that she now has to wear the clothes that identify her as being a member of the Sao group. And she has to follow their customs. This lady in front of us with the basket is from the Hmong ethnic group. I can tell that now by the clothes that she's wearing. The basket's for foraging, mainly finding food to feed the pigs. Apparently men can wear exactly what they want, but the women have to follow the strict rules of the group that they belong to. As Little Chi says, if women don't wear what they should, then people blah 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 about them. It's the rice planting season at the moment. These motorised ploughs are much cheaper than buffalo, so people tend to use them more often these days. It's not all that easy walking along the walls of the rice terraces. Little Chi's got wellies on, which is good. My trainers are already pretty wet and muddy. People tend to help each other when they're farming. They all work together on one person's plot and then move to the next person's plot. It's a nice communal way of working. Rice here is a couple of weeks old and they're pulling it out. And then they'll replant it at the right spacing and it'll be enough for several paddy fields. Each of the ethnic groups in this area has their own language. When Little Chi married outside her own ethnic group, she had to try and learn the language of her husband's group. None of these women had any formal education at all, so all the languages that they know have just been picked up through talking to each other. We're gonna stop in this restaurant for a spot of lunch. Lots of tourists do the hikes around here, so even when we're walking we don't really see that many people, but when we stop at the restaurant there's plenty of people here. Plenty of locals trying to sell us handicrafts. Little Chi's demonstrating a rice threshing machine to us.
Yeah, go for it, man.
The local exercise. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually really easy.
This is food for pigs. A lot of effort that goes into feeding pigs. We actually haven't seen very many pigs, but I think it's because they're all kept indoors like this. Apparently the chickens are only kept for meat as well, not for eggs. Quite a meat-heavy diet they have. It's just so beautiful around here. Apparently it's gorgeous in autumn as well when the rice is tall and golden. These people planting out the rice are Little Chi's cousins. The rows all look so neat. I think it's probably fairly back-breaking work though.
Learn how to plant the rice.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Should we plant some?
You go for it, Catherine. You're already maybe. Don't fall in forwards.
They say this one is less deep. Just 2 or 3. Yeah. And then you do like this. Yeah? Yeah, like that. And then you go to the next line. Yeah, like that. Like one by one. And then you do like this. And then you go to the next line. It's very deep.
Think I need a bit more practice before I can plant rice like a pro.
That's too far. You go closer. No, closer the other one. Yeah. This here. Yeah, yes. And then one here. Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Of course, little Chi has been doing this since she was a small child, helping her family out. These men are carrying bundles of young rice plants to the terraces higher up for planting. This is where we're going to be staying tonight. It's actually little Chi's auntie who lives here.
Amazing view from our little bungalow here. Cheers.
Cheers.
The rice wine.
A little bit.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. B how?
Bye.
We've got a fairly short trek this morning, and then we'll get the van back up to Sapa this afternoon. Butterflies are loving this sugar cane. It's what's left of the plant once the juice has been extracted, and they just leave it to dry before using it as fertiliser on the land. This path we were walking up has become a river. They're draining the rice field so that they can plough it, plough all the weeds back into the soil, which is why they need to drain the water off first.
Yeah.
Lord Chi's been telling us that her father was a shaman. His job was to ward off evil spirits, particularly vampires, which is a really strong part of their belief system.
Well, Ben, what happened to you then? And she's come back to fix the wall, the paddy wall that crumbled. Oh dear. Look at those shoes. Worse than mine.
It's a bit of a faux pas destroying people's paddy field walls, but luckily little Chi has smoothed it over with them and fixed the walls, so all is well. Poor Ben, he has very wet shoes now, and I think he's as muddy today as I was yesterday. Little Chi's mother was a herbalist, so her job was to cure people who were sick. We've been seeing a few people with bright red splodges on their necks, and that's from a suction technique that's used to try and cure sore throats. And people do go to the hospital if it's serious. Well, there's a chap using a buffalo to pull the plough. Apparently this is the better way of doing it because the plough can go deeper, because the buffaloes are just so strong. This bamboo forest is protected. People need to get permission if they want to use some of the wood for firewood. The government are trying to protect some of the forests around here, partly stop landslides. Apparently when in the past all the houses used to be built from wood, but now there just isn't the big bits of wood left, and it's too expensive for people. So they use concrete instead in the main. That's the end of the hike. It's been just so amazing. Spectacular scenery. And so lovely getting to know little Chi.